Hey, rebels. Okay, somebody asked me the question, why do I say rebels, right? Because if you have survived childhood trauma, then you, in fact, are a rebel because you're here today, which means you had to do a lot to go against what trauma taught you to do. And there's a lot of patterns that come with trauma, and we're going to talk about one of those today, and that is shutting down. So, yes, in this video, we're going to walk through what shutting down looks like and an actionable step that you can take to come out of this pattern or this phase of being shut down. And I know that you would love to heal from the trauma that created the shutting down pattern in the first place. So drop me a line below and I'll send you my book, Rebel Rising. It has the #1 most effective healing tool that I use with all my clients so that they can heal past trauma and start moving on with their life. And in every video that you get from me, you will get an actionable item so that you can take back what was taken from you, and that's peace, safety, and trust. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Contessa Akin. I'm the best emotional well-being coach that there is, and I've coached close to 1,000 women over the last 15 years to heal their trauma, to calm and nourish their nervous system, empower them so that they can take back their peace, safety, and trust, and give them the skills that they need to maintain it for the rest of their lives. It's a true story. So let's talk about shutting down, because in this video, we're going to talk about shutting down and the pattern and what that looks like. So it can be kind of normal, right, to shut down, almost like waking up in the morning. You don't even realize sometimes that you are shut down because it's such a habituated pattern that is just like, getting your glass of water. What's happened is that your protection, your self-protection mechanism kicked into gear and it shut you down. So at one point in your life, you experienced an event. So I talk with people who have trauma in their history. So most likely you have a traumatic event that happened in your past and your brain perceived that it was necessary for you to shut down. Shut down is like numbing out, isolating yourself, buffering. Buffering just means that you use things like food, drugs, alcohol, anything to kind of take away the feeling or run away from the feeling, if you will. So shutting down kind of encompasses all of that. And so at one point in your life, your brain perceived that it was more important for you to shut down for your survival, because your brain has one job, one cell function, one thing to do, one thing only, and that is to ensure your survival. And that's really clear whenever we're faced with, like, I don't know, a bear or a wolf, right? We go into fight, flight, freeze mode. And that's natural software that's built into every single person's brain, right? It's just hardwired in there. And so what happens is when your brain perceives a threat, like a trauma event, then it tells you that shutting down is the best course of action from here forward during this time. The problem is that here we are in adulthood, and we have not let go of this coping mechanism, this skill, this brain. What is it that I'm thinking of the word? The thing that your brain created to keep you alive, right? There's a word for it. Maybe it'll come to me a little bit later. But essentially, it's built off of lies now because it's only necessary to ensure your survival, which means you have to be under a state of threat in order to shut down or to continue to go to this particular pattern, right? But if you're sitting here listening to this, most likely in this particular moment, you are in fact safe. Safety just equals free from harm. So again, if you are able to watch this and hear this, then I can assume in a general sense, it doesn't apply to every single case, but in a general sense, you are currently free from harm. And so your brain does not need to tell you to shut down, right? And so if you do shut down, then essentially you're letting your emotional child take the wheel, and you just blaze on through life with this pattern of just numbing out, shutting down, running, isolated, whatever you do, instead of letting your emotional adult say, hey, here's the truth, little guy. We are safe. There's no need to shut down right now. I am in control of my emotions and I've got this from here. So essentially, the actionable step that I'm giving you right now is to be able to distinguish between emotional child and emotional adult. And if you are going through patterns that were built and given to you in time of childhood trauma, then your emotional child is at the wheel. And when you can step into your emotional adult is when you can say, hey, I've got this, literally, figuratively, in all the ways, out loud, internal, all the ways. Your emotional adult can be aware, have a broader awareness, right? It's just like parents with kids or nieces and nephews or even teachers, right? Like we can see our kids, they don't have the capacity to have the level of awareness to say, I'm shutting down right now. But your emotional adult does. And your emotional adult can take the reins from there and soothe your emotional child. And I know I don't talk about this often, but I have a group coaching program. And inside that group coaching program, we teach you, number one, to figure out what it is that you need. So when your emotional child is taking over and shutting down and using the same pattern, to isolate, numb, all this stuff, then basically your emotional child is saying, I need something. I need safety. I need peace. I need to be heard. I need connection. I need love. They need something. There's a part of you that needs something, and that need is not being met. So your emotional child is like, I've got this. I know how to do it. Let's shut down. Right? Emotional adult can simply say, okay, baby, I've got you. We're safe right now. And I hear what you need is you need love. I can give you love. I've got this. I can give you love. Or I can ask someone to help me feel love, not fulfill my whole need for love, but just to help me feel a sense of love in my life. And when you can distinguish between emotional adult and emotional child and let your emotional adult soothe, nurture, and take care of your emotional child, then this old pattern will start to dissolve. Hope you enjoyed this one. This one was jam-packed. So come back and listen for all the golden nuggets. And of course, if you want to heal, you want to get my healing tool, you want to take care of your nervous system, join our group coaching program. But for today, drop me a line below and I'll send you my book and you can get started right away. Until next time.